the featured speakers for the keynotes from Whole Foods came down with COVID and couldn't come.
I was going to say, yeah, Mr. High End here.
So I have a feeling, to be honest, a fair number of us are going to go home with COVID too.
So how is it different in organic versus conventional when it comes to private label versus marketing brands?
And the entire conversation wasn't just organic, but Forest Farms, Dave from Forest Farms was also on the panel, and he brought up one of the things that they found was very successful for them is that a lot of retailers were not able to go into full-on private label and organic, so they would go with Forest Farms to start out in a few categories, try to build up their supply, build up continuity, build up customers, and then they were able to switch over into their own private brand. So it can be an entry point into the organic product category for a retailer to have the branded side and then switch over to organic when they, and then switch over to their own private brand once they had established the customer base for it. Because to just jump into a private label with, something like organic Brussels sprouts is a huge, huge commitment, and maybe they need to work with one of those national brands to achieve that first.
Well, I wonder how much talk there is there about inflation. And one of the things that we've covered so far this year on Blue Book is that overall food inflation in produce is pretty substantial, and organic has not been that much. And so there's a bit of the narrowing of the gap between conventional and organic when it comes to food rising.
Well, actually, Tom Barnes from Category Partners shared some data in a session that was about just that. And we got some startling numbers in organics where volume is down for the first time in a while. And actually, in the first time ever, SKU count was down in the second quarter in organic only. So I'm going to be following up with Tom on that for the Produce Reporter to talk about what's going on with SKU counts and frame it in the conversation of what's going on with inflation, because that is definitely something that's going to be a concern. But I don't know, this kind of crowd over here just doesn't seem like they're too worried about it. I feel like most people are convinced that organic will continue to grow. And the fellow panelist on that was Rich Gonzalez from Walmart. And, he's pretty optimistic on their trajectory. And they're going to be pushing their programs and going forward with a lot of stuff. So we'll see. But it was a discussion, and there were some numbers that showed a little bit of contraction in organic produce.
That's definitely something we'll follow up on for sure. So anything else there that we should have on our video as opposed to writing stories about?
Right now, I haven't been able to check out the new product scene just because, as you can see, I've walked around the whole time that we've been talking, and it is elbowing your way through to get through to see anyone in here. So I haven't gotten to see what's new yet, but I will definitely follow up when I finally get a chance to talk to some people.
Well, maybe we'll come to a point where you and I will both be in our offices instead of this wild travel every week. One of us.
What would that be? Well, I'm just hoping I don't suffer any of the travel woes that so many people are having lately, including yourself, on the way home. And that's why I chose smaller airports and a somewhat more reliable airline.
It's tough out there, I'll tell you that. I'm not looking forward to the route I'm taking to get to Monterey later this month for the food service event. I think I'm going through Seattle from Kansas City.
That is not good. And that's not just like you can hop in a car and drive if you were going to somewhere like LAX. Yeah, that's why I fly to San Jose, man. I don't bother with the Monterey airport. It is a little too small for me. All right. Well,
we get out the dice and roll them.
That is it for the Produce Reporter Week in Review. If you are not getting the Produce Reporter newsletter, you need to go to producebluebook.com and sign up. much.